Hey guys, this is Echo Soundworks, and we are going to be taking a tour of the Echo Soundworks studios, or my project studio, whatever you want to call it. But this is the space that I use to produce, make all the sound sets, sample packs, that sort of stuff. I don't typically do videos from here. So the space is in North Hollywood, California, for those of you who've asked, and it is in a building with about 6 other studio spaces. So the layout, we're going to check out the main room and the vocal booth. There is a room in front that's pretty small, but it has like a mini fridge, a little coffee machine, a little place to sit for people who want to get away from the main room. So this main room is where my monitors are. I guess you'd call it a control room, but I also track in this space as well. And then there's a vocal booth that way. So I want to do this video for a couple reasons. First, it's probably one of the more requested videos that I get. And then second, for any of you guys out there who are starting to build out a project studio or a home studio, you could definitely learn from my mistakes. I'm going to talk about the gear that I really like, the gear that I've sold along the way because I've purchased things that I didn't have for more than like a couple days and then it was gone because I just wanted to sell it. So I do a full disclaimer, full disclosure here. Any of the gear that I say that I really like in this video, it's my own opinion. It's stuff that I purchased with my own money. Nothing in here is things companies have sent me that I'm not like shamelessly plugging. So if I say I really like a CAD microphone, like the one I'm talking into right now, it's because I honestly like the CAD microphone. So yeah, we're just going to dive in. We're going to look at all the gear I have, guitars, keyboards, controllers, preamps, all that sort of stuff. And then kind of talk about where I got it from, how much it cost, maybe give you guys some cool insights into finishing up your project studio. Let's dive right in. All right, so it's like we just entered the room and we're doing like a slow, sexy pan to the left. You can see that I have my guitars, Maschine, keyboards, all in arm's reach. You'll also notice, and some of you might be surprised, that I don't have a lot of synths. I'm more of a guitar whore than I am synths. I don't like hardware synths. I'm pretty much all in the box. Speaking of in the box, I use a i7 3.7 gigahertz, like 2014 iMac, has 16 gigabytes of RAM. It gets the job done, haven't had any issues with it. But I typically upgrade computers when it just can't handle what I need it to do, so this one's still pumping strong. You'll notice that there's a wood slab in this room, and the slab is not perfectly in the middle of the room, and that creates some problems, but as I preach to anyone who reaches out or asks me for advice about project studios or home studios, is that it's never going to be 100% perfect because it's not a custom space to spec usually. You just have to make do with what you have. So with this, I put as much bass trapping behind my monitors as I could, and it does color the sound a little bit, but you kind of just get used to it and, move forward. All right, so now we're looking at it from the other side of the room, and you'll notice the walls are black. The black walls are just carpeted, but there's a lot of broadband absorption panels in this space. Do not underestimate acoustic treatment, guys. It really does make a difference with your sounds. I get panels from a place called John Hunter Acoustics. I like these a lot more than GIK acoustic panels. I think they are easier to hang. I like the fabric that he uses. Just a better experience for me personally. The blue foam that you see and the gray foam, that's from an eBay store called Foam Mart or Foam and More. You can get it for a lot cheaper than what Auralex charges. Now this space has really high ceilings, so I didn't have to treat these ceilings. It's about 16 feet high. So you can see here in the corner, I have 2 4-foot bass traps stacked on top of each other, so 8 feet. I have about another 8 feet beyond that, which is really nice because then I don't get early reflections from the ceiling. Now, the main controller that I use via USB to like control synths and samples, all that sort of stuff, is the M-Audio Code 61. I like it because I like the action on the keys, I like the XY pad, and I like that it's white because it matches my Maschine. My Maschine is a Maschine Studio that I put a custom sticker kit on from 12-inch skins. And I use it on every track for drums, hi-hats, perk, all that sort of stuff. Now my main monitor is the JBL LSR 308. If you guys are looking for a new monitor and you don't like the ones you have, seriously consider the LSR line from JBL. I had the 305s before the 308s when I was in a smaller space, and I still love those. My B monitor is the KRK Rokit 5. I like having 2 monitors just so I can reference and cross-check my mixes. The front end of my DAW is the Universal Apollo. It is the 8 version. It's a Thunderbolt audio interface. It also handles real-time processing for plugins. Now this fits my mixing and production style for 2 reasons. First, I hate plugging shit in, so that really helps. Also, it alleviates the strain on my computer. So I think having a Universal Apollo can lengthen the life of your computer, because anytime I load up a plugin that's a Universal Audio plugin, the Apollo is handling the processing. Now I do have one actual outboard preamp, and it is the Presonus ADL 600. It's a dual channel, so there's 2 of them, tube preamp. It sounds really good. I got this thing for like $1,800, put it on a payment plan, took a year to pay off, and then they lowered the price to like $900. If you can pick one of these up at a cheap price, definitely do it. Sounds really great on vocals and guitars. Speaking of guitars, I use the Line 6 Helix almost exclusively on the chain smoking guitars. That's the front end of my DAW in terms of electric guitars and bass. This alleviates my strain on the computer and having to use a bunch of guitar rig or amplitude, and it just sounds great right away. Now we're looking at my 2 main acoustic guitars. I'm a Taylor guy. I like dreadnoughts, and I like guitars that don't have electronics because I like miking up a guitar with an actual microphone, whether it's a large diaphragm or small diaphragm, when I record it. So the one on the right is a 110. I forget the exact model, and the one on the left is I believe it's a GS Mini. It's not a baby, but it's a GS Mini. So now we're looking at my guitar rack, and like I said, I'm more of a guitar guy than a synth guy in terms of like how many I have. The one in the front is a American Strat. The one right behind it is an American Thin Line. Then the one behind it is a Mexi Telly. It's a Nashville Player Plus. Then the one behind it is one of my first guitars. It's a Les Paul Epiphone. And the one behind that is a Fender Jazz P-Bass. So now we're looking at the booth. That was the door closed. Now it's open. And we are checking out my favorite microphone. And I have not had this one that long. It is the Manley Reference Cardioid C. It is my baby. The mic that I used for vocals before that was the one to the right of it, which is the blue Kiwi. And one's tube, one's solid state. I like having both options, both colors for vocals and guitars. Love the Kiwi on guitars. Now the vocal booth is a cool space, but I don't always use it on vocals. A lot of times I'll just have the vocals sing in the middle of the room, and I'll make a fort with all my like broadband panels. I'll take some off the wall and make a fort, which is really nice. So now we're looking at my headphone collection. I don't have a lot of them, but I absolutely love the white ones. Those are Audio Technica's AT50Xs. The ones in the middle are AKG. I forget the exact model name, but I'll put it up on screen. Hate those. I give those to the people I don't like when they come into sessions. The ones on the left are there's some Sennheisers, and they are just really good for tracking. So here's some of my percussion. I have a lot of percussive instruments. I like throwing in weird sounds. I got a rain stick, random shakers. You get a lot of this stuff actually at thrift shops and like garage sales. That's where I get a lot of mine. All right, guys, so that sums up this look at my studio here. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to post them up below. Hopefully this video gets a healthy discussion going. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I'm Echo Sours. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you next time.